Are you talking about how to test in smart contracts on RSK using Truffle? First of all, we have one slide about the concept of TDD, is the test driving development. So in this practice, we first start doing the tests, and after we will coding. So first, add the test, run all tests, and see if any new tests fails. Write some code, run the tests again, and refactor the code and repeat. So now we start with the tests. This is one more hands-on section, so I will share with you this link. And we are here now. In this time, I put some links in the pad, so you have all the links from RSK for you, and all my contacts, and the tutorials, because we are following these tutorials. This first tutorials, it's only about Truffle. To use Truffle, and if you are a beginner, you need to have Git, a POSIX compliant shell, curl, Node.js, a code editor, and Truffle. This is the basic. Also, we are doing these tests in the RSK network, but we need to have a local network. The local node in RSK, it's called reg test. So we have a tutorial to install and create your reg test, your node. In this part, the RSK node is built in Java. So it's a EVM Java based. So we need to have Java installed. And after we install the local node in the releases page. I am one installed. I am not in the last version for today. It's not a problem now. Okay, but you only need to go here and download the jar file. It's only this. It's very easy. Okay, after you can verify the authenticity of your file and run the reg test node. I'd like to show these tutorials. This is my personal blog of RSK Tutorials. I started this in this week. I have more, and I concentrated all the tutorials here. And I like this so much because you have all the commands for Linux, for Mac, for Windows. And I will run my node now in Git Bash. So I will copy, open the Git Bash, and paste. I have the node in the RSK node folder. So my node is running, doesn't happen nothing, but I know that my node is running. Because of this, I don't see any error, so it's okay. With my node running, now I can go to our tutorial. We are doing the TDD in Truffle and RSK. And I think it's a good day to create a project about elections. So I will create a new folder called election and start my project. I will put these instructions not here, but here. Now we need to do this. I don't know if I have this project created before. Yes, so I will go to a new terminal. And again, I go to my RSK folder. and create the election folder. I think I didn't copy it. Yes, and go to my folder. Now I will create a Truffle project, a zero Truffle project. So this is the Truffle init. I need to initialize a npm project 2 and install the Truffle assertions. What is the Truffle assertions? This is development by a great guy, the Roscoe Callis. He usually talk in TruffleCon too. I know him in the first TruffleCon in Portland. And she built this. I love this. Help so much. Now I open my project in the Visual Studio Code. This is my project. So this is an empty Truffle project. You can see that I don't have any other files here. It's very basic. I need to update the Truffle config because I need to use the RSK network, the reg test. So this is the Truffle config that I need to have. I can overwrite everything with only this. So come here, Truffle config, and I only need this. You can realize that I'm using the development network, that this is the default network when I try to run the Truffle console, but I changed the port because the default port it's 8545, but for RSK Local Node, we're using the port 4444. And save it. It's okay. As someone doing with me are okay. I don't need this. So we are here. We create our folder. We installed the connection. So we started create the election test in the test folder. I will do it now. Test folder plus my file. And now, this is the basic. So I will copy. I love this copy button. And paste. And save it. What I have here, I need to have a smart contract called election. And I will use the Truffle assertions later. And I'm instantiating my election contract. And I'm only looking if I can do it if this election contract exists. So it exists. Not now. So I will run my tests. Truffle tests. I hope you got an error because I don't have the smart contract. Yes, I could not find artifacts for the election because I don't have this smart contract. So the next step is create the smart contract. I can do it with a command, Truffle create contract election. It's very cool. Here I have the election. And I don't have anything inside my contract, but now I have a smart contract. So if I try the Truffle test again, it will work. Yes, our tests work. So I have the smart contract. What's the next step? The next step is run the test again. Okay. I will change the place of the instantiate because I'd like to create a new election instance before each block of tests. So I'd like to have it in the before. I will change my test script. So the election is here, the text script is here. I will erase it and do it again. So here is the before. I can test it again. You work because it's the same. We only change the order. Here our image content is okay. So now we need to have candidates in our elections. We have two candidates, Biden and Trump. First, I will create the tests and after create the code. So I will change my tests. I will copy everything to be fast. And what I have here, what is the rules for the candidates? I'd like to, the first candidate is Biden, the second candidate is Trump, and when the election starts, both Biden and Trump don't have votes. They must have 0 votes. So this is my rules, this is my test rules. I will test it now, and it must fail because I didn't do this in the smart contract, but this is the TDD. Here the smart contract, and everything failed. It's okay. We don't have a candidate. We don't have votes. So let's create it. Test and adding the constructor. This will be in the constructor. So this is the election. I will erase it again and have a new version with the variables, the two candidates, the votes, the candidates are strings, the votes are integers, and I'm initializing the candidates here. I save it, I run the tests. Running these tests. Yes, great. All tests is good now. So what you do now? I think we need to vote. We need to add the function to vote. In the what I would like to test what is the rules for the voting. I'd like to test if when someone vote, the count of votes increase. And it's very important that the same person cannot vote twice. So this is the test. I will put this in the part of last describe before the end of our file. So here I have the describe for the constructor. Before the end, I have the describe for the voting process. Saving it and try to run the test. The tests must fail the second part because we create the tests, but we didn't update the smart contract. It's here the first part of the constructor, it's okay, but the tests for the voting process is not okay because we don't have a function called do vote. It's not possible to vote now. So go to the election smart contract and we need to do it. Voting error. Here is the voting rules. Copy the smart contract. I copied all now, and I will update. Here. So, I have now a new variable. It's a mapping, and this is in this mapping, each address can have a state. A mapping, it's a key value type of variable. So the key is the address, and the value it's above true or false. So the address can only vote once. If the address vote, the both variable will be true, and it's called has voted. I need to have a modifier too, because with this modifier, I can test if a person, an account, voted already or not. And in this modifier, I have the required to be sure that this account never voted. And also I have the function do vote, to voting. I need to pass the parameter is the candidate, and this function you be a successful only if it's this accounted not voted. I know that is not voted. What I need to do? I will compare the strings, because Solidity, we can't compare strings directly in Solidity. I create a function for this. Usually we use the hash of this. So I will compare the candidate of that the account chosen and Biden. If it's the same, I will increase the votes for Biden, or if it's Trump, I will increase the votes for Trump. And in the end, I need to update the mapping and saying that this account is already voted, so it's true. Has voted is true. Save it, and we run the test again. The first part is okay. Wow, the second part is okay. Wow. So the voting process, now it's okay. When someone vote, the count will increase, and the person cannot vote twice. Great, we have 6 tests now. I didn't do more tests because I think that I will use more time. I was fasting in this time. And we can think about what is the next steps. For example, I think an election, it needs to start and it needs to end. So I can define a time, and the election it's finished in 5 minutes or in 5 days, doesn't matter. But I can define a time, and I need to test if you can vote only before the expiration time. Is this? I didn't do this test. And the other test that we need to do, and other rule, after the expired time end, only in this moment I will have a winner. So I can implement tests to discover who is the winner, who wins this election. I didn't do these tests yet. I think I will do in next week, and I can share with you. It's only the beginning of this process. The most important part here is to you understand the concept of doing a TDD. We did it now. And I'm doing this connected to the RSK node, the RSK local node here. The node is running here. And this is a different option for you, because today we deploy contracts in the RSK testnet. We deploy contracts in Ganache CLI, and now we are deploying contracts in a reg test node. So we have three different ways to deploy the contracts, and also we have a different approach to have a front end and to interact with the contract. So is this my goal for today? Do you have any doubts, any questions? All of these projects are shared with you. I can put it here to be sure. I think I have to put one each. So this is the requirements. This is the reg test. And this is the main goal, developing smart contract using TDD in Truffle. And I hope this will be useful for you. Doing tests, it's very important. And when we are developing for blockchain, it's most important, because if you deploy a smart contract in a real blockchain in the mainnet and you did some error, you cannot fix it. It's very complicated. You can build some structures like a proxy, like a smart contract upgradable, but it's not the essentially of one smart contract. So we need to be careful. We need to do more tests before deploy a smart contract in the mainnet. This is the difference. And the TDD approach help us a lot of this.